Hey there, how's it going? This is my volunteer story. So, this is a story I haven't told before, and this story, like many other stories, starts off with a throwback all the way back to the 7th grade. My teacher then presented to us something called a 10-hour project, where each of us had to get a total of 10 volunteer hours over the course of the year. It was almost like a preparation before we went into high school. So, I spoke to my mom, who just started working for PLASP at the time, and she suggested it would be neat for me to volunteer here. But, Mom, you don't understand. I have enough on my plate at the moment. But this wasn't something I could just say no to. It was like a battle for my mom. My mom pushed, and I pushed back. She pushed harder, and if any of you know anything about getting into arguments with your mom, she wins. She always wins. She was so persistent I'd give this a shot, and so I did. A few weeks later, a letter came in the mail saying I had to go to something called a volunteer orientation. Going into the orientation, I only knew PLASP was a rather small neighborhood company that took care of kids or something like that. And so, today was the day. Today was the day of my volunteer orientation. I wasn't what you called excited, more tired. And by tired, I mean I didn't like that it was so early in the morning and I had to bathe. At the orientation, we met Erin from the volunteer department. She told us all the do's and don'ts of a good volunteer, what to do during an emergency, and how PLASP was so keen on fun and safety. I also cleared up some of those misconceptions I had. So apparently, PLASP wasn't this really small company that I thought it was. It was actually an award-winning nonprofit organization committed to providing high-quality childcare. I learned PLASP was actually established back in the 1970s, but it wasn't until a very special person entered the picture when PLASP's success skyrocketed. It started off with a woman, a leader, by the name of Sylvia Leal, who spent her life with a strong vision that childcare should be a warm environment where children are respected and understood. When the need arose, she set up the first PLASP programs in 1975 in Floridale and Lakeview Beach Public Schools in Mississauga and Hanover Public School in Brampton. As the demand for the service quickly grew, within 2 years she accomplished the goal of making PLASP a self-supporting company in 1978. And PLASP gained its nonprofit organization status in 1980. Leal was the heart of the organization for over 30 years until she passed away suddenly of a heart attack in January 2011. Nevertheless, her vision, contribution, and passion for the company still lives on. That today, PLASP has reached heights of success never imagined before. PLASP provides childcare services to more than 10,000 children. That's half the maximum capacity of the entire Air Canada Centre. And these children come from over 8,000 families. And just this year, for a total of 16 consecutive times, PLASP has been voted as the #1 childcare provider by the readers of Mississauga newspaper and City Parent magazine. And PLASP surely isn't just a neighborhood company anymore, since it has over 300 locations all across Peel and in some parts of Toronto. And Sylvia's once small organization has grown to be a business with an over $30 million budget. So after my volunteer orientation, I thought this was a good organization and everything, but I was only going to do my 10 hours and then pack my bags. But much to my surprise, it wasn't just a 10-hour project anymore. It turned into weeks, months, and precisely, it has now been 3 years. There was just something I loved about this organization so much that couldn't get me to turn away. It wasn't the fact that the organization had good food and great people that made me love it so much. So what was it? What was it really about? It was all the times the kids have your arrival times memorized, knowing exactly when you were going to walk through the door and demanding for a thorough explanation on the days you didn't. It was definitely all the times a 3rd grader beat me in a game of checkers, but me, I tried to play it cool, saying I let them win. But the kids weren't the whole story though. I also met a woman running the whole show at the program, the program director. The program director listened, she understood, she encouraged the kids for all the things they did right. There was never any problem she couldn't solve. She was almost like a mother. If you can put it into perspective, PLASP staff and volunteers to the kids aren't just these people in their lives, these people that they see every day. We are the boo-boo fixers, the storytellers, the homework helpers, the star soccer players, and the hug experts. So, it's been 3 years, and if I were to put it into a few words, I would say, PLASP isn't just an organization where staff takes care of children, it's a home away from home. It helped me grow along with the children. It was a place I got to be a kid again. This was my story, and from now, you might be thinking, what next? My answer being, I really don't know. I don't know what the future has in store for me, or for PLASP, or where this volunteering is going to lead, but for now, all I can say is, this is my story, and now I ask you, what's yours?
honor to have been asked by Mrs. JiJi to film a message for you. I still remember teaching you when you were in grade 6. Although I haven't seen you since, it sounds like you have continued on a very successful path and one that is true to the student that I remember. Tazine, you are an unforgettable student because of the way that you carried yourself. Although you were always on the quieter side, you never let this stop you from doing your best. You were kind and patient with others and the type of student that worked well with everyone. I was so happy and proud of you when I heard from Mrs. JiJi that you are back at McKinnon volunteering for PLASP. What a great fit. They are so lucky to have you, as you always hold yourself to a high standard, making you a wonderful role model for the students that you are working with. Tazine, I am sending you best wishes on this Volunteer Appreciation Day, and I'm so glad to hear that your efforts are being appreciated by others. I wish you continued success and all the very best in all that you do, and continue to let your heart guide you. Wishing you all the best. Take care.
Hi, Sirapet. It's Mr. Flower here. Still recognize me? It's been a long time, but I just wanted to touch base and say hello and say congratulations on all the great work you're doing. Your PLASP leader got in touch with me and let me know that you were helping out there and volunteering, which is no surprise to me. I always remember you volunteering and helping out at Whitehorn. We really miss you here. You're such a great kid, and it's no surprise to us that you're still as amazing as you are, always helping others, always. So, Sirapet, this is just Mr. Flower reminding you that you're a great person, and thanks so much for always helping others. Take care, have a great end to your school year, and continued success, and have a wonderful summer. Take care, Sirapet.
The thing I remember about Rashida is her kind heart. She was always willing to help any student that was struggling back then. Because of her kind nature, I'm not surprised at all that she continues to volunteer her time by helping out at PLASP. Rashida, I'm honored that you chose me as your favorite teacher, and I'm glad to have been part of your learning journey.